Well, good afternoon to everyone who is in the room right now. My name is Titus Best. I'm going to be your instructor for the day, and welcome to this down payment resource workshop. So, as the title entails, this is a workshop class. This is nothing that is for CE credit. It is strictly just a workshop of information to kind of let you know what's available for you and how exactly the down payment resource system will function for you. So, we've got a lot of really cool things to kind of go through today. I think you guys will find this very informative. Especially when you're trying to help your client to get into a home. A lot of times the biggest hurdle that they have is the down payment. And if you can help them to find a little bit of money that's out there that they are eligible to accept, then why not, right? And it doesn't take you very long to pull that information either. And the system here will help you to do that. So we got a couple of things to kind of go through. So I'm going to put those up on your screen right now. And we'll get into our objectives, and then we'll get into our system and exactly what it does for you. So as you can see here from our objectives, we have about a few things that we're going to learn today. Obviously, I'm going to show you how to get into the down payment resource system. There's a few different ways that both you and your client can access down payment resource. I'm going to make it known so that you guys will know exactly how to get into those different programs. Also, show you exactly what the system will do for you, how you can educate your buyers and your sellers about the down payment help. If you want to match up your homeowners to different programs that are available for them, the system will allow you to do that. And you can send it right to their inbox. It's as simple as just sending off an email. So very simple to get it over to your buyers. And of course, we'll show you also how to navigate inside of Matrix to show you how you can find homes that have down payment assistance kind of attached to them. The Matrix system has a small symbol that is connected to down payment resource, and that kind of is a visual cue to kind of let you know that, hey, this house is available for down payment resource help. And if you are using the Matrix system, if you're maybe some of our Macon partners and you're using the Flex system, or for your clients, if they're inside of OneHome and they're looking at the listings that you guys are sending them, all three of these systems will have links to connect you into down payment resource. So it's readily available for everyone. So what exactly is down payment resource? Well, as we mentioned, it's down payment assistance. It's help for your clients. And this is kind of what the system will show when we get into it. We have different links that you can actually send them that will take them into the down payment resource program. And this is what it will look like for them. And they can put in their information of a home or an area that they're looking into. And it will show them how many programs are available inside of those different areas. And it's obviously it's there to help you achieve down payment help. But if you want to use it for covering closing costs, it can also be done for that as well. And there are some programs that are not just for Georgia. Some of them can be used in both Georgia and Alabama. And as you can see down here at the bottom of my PowerPoint on the left-hand side, it says this is a free FMLS member benefit. So there is no extra cost to using down payment assistance. So who offers these programs? So as you can see here, housing finance agencies, cities and counties rather, administrators, employers can offer this, nonprofits can offer this. So you got a lot of options when it comes to these different programs. And this little screen here kind of shows you where you can find the down payment assistance when you're inside of the Matrix system. So if you notice over here on the left-hand side, you have the primary picture of a home. And down at the bottom, you have all these little icons. Well, if you notice, there's an icon where my mouse is hovering that is green with a little bit of blue on it. It's a green $sign, and it has a blue check mark on it. And that blue check mark with the green $sign is down payment resource. Every time you see that little green circle with the $sign in it, you know that this house qualifies for certain programs. When you click on those little $signs, it will then take you into that particular program or into that list of programs that are available for it. Alrighty, and this right here is a screenshot of what it's going to look like when we get into the down payment resource system. This is how you guys will see it. And you notice that we have all these little colorful buttons on the screen. We're going to go into each one of these little sections to kind of let you see exactly how you can use down payment resource. And then they also give you added features that are just for agents. They have a blog with a lot of different statistics and analytics of how down payment resource is being used across the country. There are different reports that you guys can read. And there's even an education center where if you wanted to go into maybe like a webinar that down payment assistance has, you'll be able to go into that as well. Down payment assistance also, they tweet from the X program, which is also formerly known as Twitter. And over here on the right hand side, you'll notice that there will be some tweets that come out of Twitter or X, which is what it's called now, over here on the right. So you can kind of see what they have, what they're putting up on their Twitter program without actually being inside of the system itself. There's also one other feature, and it's right up here at the top where my mouse is kind of hovering. You'll see that there is a big old website, and this is like a lead generation that you guys can use. This is connected to your down payment resource account. So anytime that you want to maybe put this on your social media, send it in an email, put it on your website, this link here, every time somebody clicks on it, it's going to take them into Down Payment Resources program, but it's connected with you. It's like, hey, this is my agent who I'm working with or who I'm going to be working with, and it's easily connected back to you as well. And I'm going to show you some things you can do with that lead generation tool, this free website here as well. So the three most common types of home ownership programs, we have obviously DPAs, down payment assistance, affordable first mortgages, and you have mortgage credit certificates as well. And here's some ways that you can use DPR when it just comes to marketing. So you'll notice on my PowerPoint, it says you can use Down Payment Connect on your websites, blogs, and emails. So that's the website link that I just showed you. And I'll show you guys when we get into the system how you can utilize that for yourself as well. There's also marketing options that the system has if you're using Facebook or if you're using LinkedIn or something like that, and you want to put up maybe like a flyer. The system has flyers inside of it that are customizable, and you can use them for your own marketing purposes. And then lastly, down here at the bottom, it says that there's a Facebook group, and it says you can join the all new Down Payment Insiders Facebook group. So I'll show you where that's located at inside of the system. And if you'd like to join their Facebook group, it's kind of their own little insiders program. So you have a lot of ways to help you to market DPR. All righty. Once we're here inside of the system, I always like to point out a few things that will kind of help you out after these classes are over, whether it's our 3-hour CE courses or if it's these small workshops. There's a lot of ways you can kind of keep yourself kind of linked in with the information from FMLS. So if you notice right where our date is at on the left-hand side, I'm going to highlight it. Right underneath, there's a box that says My FMLS. And if you go into that box, you'll see that there is a section called the knowledge base, which is this one right here. Just going to click on that one. It should open up a new tab on your browser. And when it does, it's going to open up the manuals. This is where all the manuals are located at that we teach you from. And if we give you some extra information about. And if you notice on this page, in that very first column, about 4 down, you're going to see one that says DPR. That is your down payment resource section for information. If you click on it, it opens up for you, and it kind of goes through how the program will work for you and what programs are maybe available in your market. So here's that. How does it work? How do I use DPR in my business? What programs are available in my market? And then down here at the bottom, you have some green links that'll take you to very specific points of how the DPR system will work for you, how you can use it as a resource. So you can always come down here and click on these links to give you a little bit more extra information on how the system is going to function for you. Alrighty. So that's just one place that you can go to keep yourself abreast of the info. I'm going to come back up here to the top, and I'm just going to close the link that opened up for down payment resource. And when you get back on this particular page, underneath our My FMLS box, you're going to notice that you have an area down here called the product directory. So this is where most of our products that you guys use most frequently will reside at. And if you notice on the second row, about the 4th column over, you will see down payment resource. Kind of looks like a book that's opening up with a little house on the inside. So this is your down payment resource link, and that will take you directly into there as well. Okay. Before we jump in here, just one other thing I want to point out to you. I'm going to come back up to that My FMLS section. And if you guys ever have any questions about the programs that we teach, maybe you're stuck one day, you're not sure how to get over a hump, there are a few ways for you guys to stay in contact with FMLS so that we can give you help when you need it. And one of those areas is right up here at the top of that My FMLS box. You'll see a section that's called the support section. If you click on it, it'll open up a new tab on your browser. And this will give you different ways you can stay in contact with FMLS to get support when you need it. So you'll notice that we have our live chat support up here at the top. They're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And the live chat icon for you to click on to start a live chat session is actually located in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll see a little green bubble down there with a little chat bubble inside of it. So that's where you guys will connect to get in contact with our customer support desk. Directly across from this live chat support area, you have the email support area. And if you want to email our customer support desk, here's their email address right underneath this little envelope icon. And they're there Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5. Right underneath there is our data integrity. That's our compliance department. If you want to reach out to them, their email address is there as well, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And then right across from it, you have the phone support. So if you want to just give us a ring, you can dial that number that's located here, which is a general number for FMLS. And right underneath it, you'll see you're going to press option number 1, and that's going to connect you with the customer support desk. So you got 4 different ways to kind of stay in touch with us if you have any troubles with the system and you need a little help. One last thing I'll show you on this page, if you kind of scroll down, you'll notice that we'll see the knowledge base and the CE training, but you'll also have one to the left that says YouTube videos. So we have a YouTube page, and we have videos for all of our products that we teach you, including down payment resource. If you ever want to get into YouTube and watch a video, then you can do that as well. So we've got a lot of good videos. Some of them are full classes that are recorded. Some of them are just, hey, how do I search inside a matrix, or how do I build a CMA? It's very specific questions that you may have, and we have videos that kind of run through those particular functions. They may be about 20 minutes long or so. And then we have others that are very quick. They're like 2-3 minutes. They call them tech tips. Just little quick tips and blurbs that you may not know what the system can do. But you'll find all of those in this YouTube video section. All right, I'm going to come back up to the top. I'm just going to close out the tab that opened up for this page. And let's come back down to our product directory area. We talked about where down payment resource is located. So that's where we're going to go. You'll notice in that second row, 4th column, there's your down payment resource. You can just click on it. It'll open up a new tab on your browser, and it's going to bring you into down payment resource. Alrighty, once you get here into down payment resource, the first thing you may notice is that there's a little window that kind of drops down at the top of your screen, which you guys will see on my screen right now, that says Learn Down Payment Assistance Basics. Every time you come in here, they're always having like some kind of free webinar that they want people to understand how the system works. So there's a lot of free webinars that take place with down payment resource. So if you don't want these to kind of pop open while you're here inside of this session, you'll notice over at the bottom left of this box, there's a do not show this again little checkbox. If you check it off and then hit your cancel button, that'll keep it from opening every single time that you kind of move around the system right now. When you log out of here and you log back in, those little windows are going to pop back up in there again. They always try to keep you informed of any webinars that they have going on. Even if you're not eligible or able, I should say, to take one of the webinars on the days that they have, those same webinars are recorded and they're here inside of this system. And I'll get to showing you where those are at as well. So you can just sit back at your leisure and you can watch them. You're just not inside of a live session. Alrighty, well, here we are. We are on our down payment resource dashboard page. Up at the very top on the left, you'll see it say welcome, and it has your name. You have a little logout link. All the way over on the top right, there is a member homepage link. There's a new search link. There's a FAQs, a frequently asked questions link, and a help link. So you got options inside of here. Anytime that you want to come back to this page that we're on right now, you can always come up here to the top and just click on member homepage, and that's going to bring you right back to where we are right now. Okay. No matter where you're at in the system, click on that link and you're going to come back here. So what are the things that we see on this page? Well, number one, you guys will notice that we have the wording that says welcome to down payment resource. And then it says add your free down payment connect lead gen page to your website, email, and social media. So I showed you that inside of our PowerPoint, but now you're seeing it live. And everybody on your page, we should all pretty much have the exact same website link, except for the ending of it. The ending of it is going to have your name at the end of it. Perfect. That's what your link is going to be. And anytime that anybody goes to that link, they're going to be put into the down payment resource system. And now they can try to look for programs that may be available for them, but it's connected back to you because this is your link with your name on it. Now, there are some cool things that you can do with this particular link, and it goes to the first button that we're going to kind of talk about today. So that's this big green button here underneath your email link, your website link rather, that says Down Payment Connect. I want you to click on that green button. And when you do, it's going to bring you into your Down Payment Connect setup page. Now, you already have a link here, so what do you need to set up? Well, this link here is customizable because that ending with your name on it, if you wanted to say something different, then you can. If you want to name it maybe you have a team and you want to name it after your team, or you want to name it after you have your own business, you want to name it after the company that you have it, or you just want to change it to something, a little bit more funky than just having your name there, then you can. Remember, this is all for your own type of marketing. So if you notice at the very bottom of the page, it's going to say update landing page link. And then you have a box here where you can update it. So if I went in here and I said, you know what, I wanted to have my initials and say TB Sells Atlanta. So I'm going to put TB Sells ATL. And then when I click on this update link, it now updates my link. And now you'll see at the end of my link, it doesn't say Titus Best anymore. It says TB Sells ATL. And that's what the name of my link is going to be. So that's perfect. Anytime that you guys change the ending on a link, you can always revert back to what it was by just going back down to the bottom again. You'll notice when I get back to the bottom, that box isn't empty anymore for me to type in. Now it has what was on my link previously, right? Which was just my name. So if I click update again, it's just going to revert it back. And now the link has my name at the end, and the box at the bottom is empty because it's waiting for me to say, hey, I want to change it to something different. So totally up to you. If you want to just give it a unique name, then you can. Just go in there and type up whatever you like to type up. What did I have in here before? Oh, my TB Sells Atlanta, and click my update. And now you see it changes back, but the original link ending is still down here at the bottom, waiting for me to revert it back to what it was previously. So that's as far as you can go with the link and the customization of it, but a pretty nice feature to have in here. Alrighty, now we've updated our link. Let's talk about some more pressing things. We'll come back up here to the top of the page. Now remember, I want us to go back out to our member homepage. So if you remember what I told you, up here at the very top on the right, click on the link that says member homepage. And that's always going to bring you right back out to where you are right now. Alrighty, let's still deal with the Down Payment Connect. You're still here at Down Payment Connect. You're seeing the green button, I should say. But if you notice, right above this Down Payment Connect button, there is the link. And if you change your link, like you guys can see here, it's showing TB Sells ATL. And you'll notice that there's an update link right next to it. So without me even having to go back in to Down Payment Connect, I can just click on that little update link and then come down to the bottom and hit my update. And now it's going to change that link back out again. So you have different ways to get back into this little area, either using that update link or clicking on the green button that said Down Payment Connect. They both bring you into here. All right, I'm going to come back up to the top. I'm going to click back on member homepage again, and then that's going to bring me back out. All righty, let's deal with our second green button, which is the one that says Marketing Resources. If you go ahead and click on it, it's going to take you into our Down Payment Connect Marketing Resources section. So if you want to do a little bit of marketing, whether you're doing it, maybe you want to create a flyer, or if you want to use some of the marketing material that's in here for social media purposes, then you can do it right from this section. If you start to scroll down your screen, you're going to see an area that says your personal online landing page. And it kind of gives you a little synopsis of the information that the page has for you. And as you kind of move down, you'll start to see that there's going to be things you can use. Like there's a graphics library. And as you kind of keep moving down the screen, you'll start to see some of those graphics. So I've got these little green graphics that are here. Little link that says first, find down payment help, find down payment money. Down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. Find down payments. You've got one that says get down payment help. Then it starts getting with the little green dollar sign with the blue check. Find down payment help. Down payment money is available. And then just the logo for a down payment resource. So you can use any of these if you wanted to copy them and save them and then use them in some type of marketing, then you can. I've used a couple of these inside of an email signature. Maybe at the end of my email signature, I would take maybe this logo right here that says down payment money is available. See if you're eligible, and paste it inside of my email signature. And then directly under it, I would put my Down Payment Connect link. And anybody can click on that link and go and see if they are eligible to accept any type of down payment assistance. So you got a few different ways that you can utilize these. Towards the end of the class, I'm going to show you, I'm going to use my matrix email signature. I'm going to take this, I'm going to use my down payment link. I'm going to shorten that link and put it inside of my email signature. And that way you'll kind of have an idea of how you can use it as well. You'll also notice that above our graphics, you have two areas. One says get information about linking your email signature. Another one says get information about adding your link to your website. So if you needed help with doing any of these things, you do have some help where they will kind of walk you through how to link these things to your email signature and to your website as well. If you keep moving down, you'll see that there's another area here, our social media images area. And as you move down, you'll see the different social media kind of ads that they have inside of the system. We have our Facebook ads here. I'll kind of blow it up a little bit so you can all see. So little different advertisements that you can use if you're using it on Facebook. And then underneath you have more Facebook ads, but these are the ones that adhere to less than 20% text guidelines. So you'll see that it doesn't have everything that the ones at the top do. It kind of cuts them off right after the big down payment money is available. And it just gives you the same logos and the same pictures rather, but just a little bit less text guideline if you need that. If you're using Twitter or what's called X, we have ones that are formatted for that particular system, as well as LinkedIn. If you wanted to use these in LinkedIn, then we have those in here as well. And underneath there, you have Instagram also. So if you wanted to make a post about it and use these for your Instagram, then you can use these also. If I kind of go down from there, you'll see that there's an area that's called customizable flyers. And so when you scroll down, you'll see that you do have these customizable flyers. And you'll notice at the top, it says English language options. So there are two languages in here. They do have Spanish in here. It's not as many flyers, but these are all of the English ones. And then when you kind of keep going down, you'll see that there's like a single row of the Spanish options as well. So if you need them, then they are here. These are customizable as well. If I was to click on this one right here, it's going to allow me to download it to my computer. I'm going to download this one, and I'm going to open this one up in Microsoft Word, and I'm going to share that page with you because I know you cannot see it right now. So here's what the flyer is going to look like. As I kind of scroll through my flyer, it's got all my wording on here. Now, I can't change any of the wording because you can see it's kind of grayed out for me. But the only place that you can customize is over here on the right-hand side. You have this area where you can put in a photo and put in your own information as well. So it's going to give you a couple options here to do that. I've got one that I've already completed, and see if this is still one that I can share with you. There we go. So this one I've already completed, and as I kind of scroll down, you'll see that I've already got my picture in there. I've already got my information in there. This is an editable area. You can just click over there, and you can, kind of crop these little areas as well, make them as bigger or smaller that'll fit within the guidelines. Same thing for your pictures. Once you upload a picture, you can crop it. But as you can see, the bigger my picture gets, the more you can't see my information underneath. So crop it so that your information can show in that guided area. You can make these a little bit bigger if you'd like to, but you get the idea. Move it around and get it exactly where you need it, so that way you can get all your information to show correctly. And then just go ahead and save it in the system, and now on your computer, and now you've got your own personal flyer inside of here as well. Alrighty? So real simple to do when it comes to that. Alrighty, let me go back over to my Google. There we go. And these are your flyers. I'm going to kind of move down from there. After you get past your flyers, you'll see an area that says more marketing help. So remember when we first came in, we had that white box kind of drop from the top of our screen asking us, do we want to attend the webinar for Down Payment Programs 101? Well, here is a live webinars area. So if you want to register for one of the live webinars, then there's a link here that'll help you to do that. There is that Realtor Facebook group that we talked about. So if you want to join their private Facebook group for agents, there's a link right here so that you can join that group as well. If you need yard sign writers, it lets you know, hey, is your listing eligible for down payment help? Add a yard sign writer to promote the listing and your website. So now you have an order form here so you can get a writer for your yard sign that's promoting down payment assistance. And then finally down here, you have your down payment resource reports. So there's some links here to get you into some reports that we'll get into a little bit later on. You'll be able to see some of those different reports that are in the system to kind of give you an idea of how down payment resources being used and how effective is it throughout the U.S. After that, you've got some videos down here. Find your personalized link, how to promote on your website, promoting your link on social media, marketing from your email signature. So you got a lot of cool videos down here that'll help you when it comes to just marketing in general. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to come back up to the top. And this one opened up on a new tab on our browser. So we don't have that little link up here that says go back to the member homepage. So we're just going to close the tab that opened up for this page. And then that'll bring us back into our system again. All right, we're back here on the member homepage. Let's start looking at some of these other colorful sections that we have. If you notice over here on the left, we'll start over in this kind of royal blue column, DPR on your IDX site. So I'm going to click on that one. And that's going to open up for me. So this is for all the agents that have their own website. If you got your own website and you have an IDX feed that's being fed to your website, that's where folks can look at your listings on your website, but it's pulling from the FMLS system. It's called an IDX feed. It's your Internet Data Exchange. If you want to add in your IDX feed or add in a down payment resource to your IDX setup, kind of like how this one is on this fictitious page here, then this page here will kind of show you what the DPR IDX setup instructions are. If you're not really good with doing that stuff yourself, it's totally fine. You can download these IDX setup instructions and then send it over to your website provider or your vendor who's providing the IDX service for you, or just doing it for your website, and they'll be able to kind of put it all together. But this just gives you some insight on how to connect it to your website. All right, I'm going to come back up here to the top. I'm going to click on the member homepage link again. Come back over into that royal blue section. We just looked at our IDX site. Let's go to the next one that says DPR Pricing Tool. Alrighty, so this is for you as an agent. Inside of this area right here, if you want to find out if a home buyer program is available for a certain property or even in a certain area, you can come in here and put in that information. So it's giving you a box here for a street address and a zip code. And then you can put in like, what is the estimated sales price of the property? And it will start to pull up matches for that particular property in that particular price range. So if I come over here to my street address, I'm going to use this address, 2152, and the street is called Shin, S-H-I-N, and it's Shin Courts. I'm going to put in CT. And then for my zip code, it's 30519 because they're in the Beaufort area. And just with me putting in that address with this zip code, it's already pulled up over here on the right-hand side that we have some match programs. There's 10 match programs. Now, that number is there because that's all the programs that are available for that particular property. Now, those numbers can go down based on the fact of what is the estimated sales price. So there's a lot of different things. It says, hey, in this area, yes, there are some programs that are available. Now, what's the estimated sales price can make that number either stay the same or, move up or down. So I'm going to just put in a fictitious number. I'm going to say that house is going to sell for $450,000. And now you see my match programs over here on the right went down to 7. So 3 programs are out because of the pricing, the estimated sales price of this house. If I was to make this number a little less, maybe if I went down to 350,000, it went back up. It went to 9. So only 1 program is out of our 10. And we went to 9 matches now. The higher the price, obviously, the less you're going to have. I put in 500,000. I'm back to 7. Let's say if I did like 650. And now I'm down to 6. You get the idea. It's moving up and down based on estimated price. If you didn't put a price in there at all, it would just show you all 10 programs. And then you can click on view the programs that are in here. So I'm going to keep this one at a 450. It'll drop down to 7. I'll click on view the programs. And now the programs open up for me right underneath for what is available for this particular property in this particular price range. And now I can see what kind of programs are available. So it's great because now you're able to see what kind of programs are available. Does it mean that your client is automatically going to be able to accept these programs? Well, absolutely not, because now it's a matchup game. You know that the property is available for certain down payment resource options, but your client may make too much money and then they're not eligible to accept it. So it has to kind of be a perfect storm of where they are at and where the house is at as far as these programs are concerned. But this does give you some great info. So you can see here, I've got my CBC Mortgage Chenoa Fund. This is the forgivable, FHA forgivable DPA, has a maximum benefit of $22,500 or 5% of the purchase price. And then I can see all the benefits of using this particular one. Here's the same one, but this is the repayable DPA, same $22,500 and all the benefits of using it. I've got the NHF, the National Homebuyers Fund, and this is $22,500 as well. This is the, which one is this one? This is the Data Mortgage, DBA Essex Mortgage, 5% repayable down payment assistance program. And then down here I have the same program, but this one is the 3.5% repayable down payment assistance program. And you can see the amounts are different too. The 5% repayable had a maximum benefit of $22,500. The 3.5% has a maximum benefit of $15,750. As you move down, you have another one down here. This is the deferred down payment assistance. Same thing, $15,750. I've got the NeighborWorks Columbus. This is an AFLAC employer assisted housing program. So your client has to be an employee of AFLAC in order to take part in this particular program. But the good thing with this one is there is a maximum benefit of $5,000, and it can be used to purchase a home in both Alabama and in Georgia. So it gives you a little bit more leeway there. I got my Georgia Dream Peach Plus loan program. Maximum benefit isn't known right here, right now, but it does tell you all the benefits of using that particular one. So you have to do a little bit more research into it, but you get the idea of how these programs will work. So this is just for you. If you're in here just trying to do a little bit of options, then great. So Tanya asked, do you know if these programs can be layered on top of each other? So a lot of them cannot be layered on top of each other. You would have to check between each program, because certain programs will allow you to bring in other things, but a lot of them, I would say a large amount of them, don't allow you to layer on top of each other. Alrighty. All right, so I've got my pricing tool in here. I'm going to come back up to the top. I'm going to go back to my member homepage. So this is just you. You're doing a little research in here. You want to know what's going on in those areas. Let's come back over here on the left-hand side. And when I get back over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on the search programs by name. And now this opens up all of your different programs that you have available for you. Alrighty. Now, how does this particular page work here? Well, this one's really simple. Obviously, it's got all the programs, complete directory of all your programs that are in here, the type of program it is, the maximum amount. You can see who the fund provider is, what's the status of the funds, what type of provider is it, the whole deal. However, on the left-hand side at the top, you'll see the words DPR Program Directory, and underneath it, there is a filter option and one that says Save Searches. So obviously, you can just scroll through here if you're trying to find the different programs. You can allow the system to show you more than just the 25 that are on this page. You'll notice that underneath the filter and save search buttons, I'll blow it up. It'll say show 25 programs per page. You can click in there and have it show 100 per page or 200 per page, depending on how many there are. And it also shows you what the display is. And right now it's displaying, oops, let me scroll back up to the top. It's displaying one of 89. So we got 89 different ones in there. So if I was to put this on 100, then all 100 or all 89 now will be showing on this one page. I don't have to keep going page for page. And I can kind of find what I want for these different programs. Now, if there's certain ones that you're looking for, maybe based on the area where you're searching, you can search based on keywords. So if I came back up here to the top and I click on the word filters, it opens up a box for me that says you can put in a program name or ID, We only use program names here. So you can pop in there, and maybe if I want to look up one that was, in Atlanta or has the word Atlanta in it, then I can type in Atlanta and click on my update. And once it updates, it's going to open up all the programs. And if you notice, every program here has the name Atlanta in it. Atlanta Fire Rescue Foundation, Atlanta Housing, Neighborhood Development, uh, Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. Everything's going to have Invest Atlanta. Everything's got the name Atlanta in it based on the keyword that we put in to our filter. If these programs that have the name Atlanta in it is something that you want to save in the system, you can automatically do that too. Right next to the filter button, you can click on Save Searches. That's going to open up for you. And you'll notice that it already has the program name in here as Atlanta. If I wanted to save this particular one, I can just click at the bottom to, I'm sorry, guys. I meant to put the name in it. The name is showing is that you're searching Atlanta, but you have to save it with a particular name. So I'm just going to put ATL inside of the Save Search box and then click my Save button at the bottom. And now I have it saved in the system. You'll even notice that over here on the left-hand side, where we have our DPR program directory, those two buttons that used to say Filter and Save Searches, it doesn't anymore. Now it says Filters and Atlanta because that's the name of the search that we're looking at. If I want to go back to the original search that I was doing, I can come back to my Filter button and just take out the word Atlanta out of that program name section and click Update. And now when it updates, it's going to go right back to showing me all the programs again. And you'll notice at the top, that Atlanta button now just says Save Searches, right? Now, let's say I come back in here tomorrow and I want to get back into that particular save search that I have called Atlanta. How do I get back to it? Well, you're just going to go back to the button that says Save Searches. Click on it. And then you'll see a drop-down menu that you have. You can click in the drop-down and you should see your ATL. Click on the name ATL. And now it'll automatically go back to all the Atlanta ones that you searched. And you'll see the green button at the top will say ATL in it. So real simple to do, not a hard option at all. If you want to, another way to kind of clear everything out is if you notice all the way over here on the far right-hand side, there is a Clear Selections link that you can click on. And then that's going to clear it out for you as well. And you're going to go right back to your original search again. So two ways to get back to your original search. Click the Clear Search or Clear Selections button. Or if you wanted to search a different area, you can just go back to Filters, take out the word Atlanta, and then put in something else, or just click the Update, and then that will take it all the way back out to the beginning again. Alrighty, so we've got our Save Searches, we've got our filters. If you ever wanted to, and you can save as many searches as you like to, there's no cap on it. If you ever felt like, hey, I want to get rid of some of these searches, maybe you've got a few of them in the system, and you want to get rid of some of them, you can get rid of them by just going back to the Save Searches area and click on the button Save Searches. Click on your Save Searches drop-down list, and where you see your ATL right across from it, you're going to notice that there is a little trash can icon right on the other side of it. And you can always click on the trash can to get rid of it. I'm not going to delete this particular one, but just want you to see where all the functions are located at. Alrighty, I'm going to come back up here to the top. I'm going to click back on Member Homepage. Alrighty, so we know what our green buttons will do, our Down Payment Connect, our Marketing Resources, and we know what our blue, royal blue column will do for us, our DPR on the IDX site if we have that. If you just want to look at the pricing tool to see if there's any programs available for a certain address. And then we know how to search our program names as well as how to save them if we do our own specific search. Let's look at the orange column. The orange column here gives us some things that we can do when it comes to the searches that we've saved and our clients that we have in the system. So the first one we have here is a client search option. We have a manage client account, and then we have view saved searches. So I'm going to do this one a little bit backwards. I'm going to go to the middle one that says manage client accounts, and I'm bringing you there on purpose for a reason. So let's click on that middle orange button, manage client accounts. So if you wanted to add in a client into your system and then maybe do some searches for them and save those searches along with that client, this is the area where you're going to come first to actually add in a client. So if you notice on my page, I've got myself in here. I've got my TK Best in here. as my fake client. But if I wanted to add in another client, I can just come right up to the top left underneath the client account. You'll see a blue button that says new client. I'm going to click on that, and it opens up an area for me to put in my client's information. So I'm going to type in my fake client. I'm going to use Barry, and his last name is going to be Buyer. And I'm going to give him an address, 2152 Shin Court. I'm going to put him in Beaufort, Georgia. And I'll give him a zip code of 30519. Give him an email address. Here's his buyer, Barry, at gmail.com. And I'm going to give him a fake phone number. I'll give him area code 987, and his number will be 6543210. We'll just count backwards from 9 to 0. And that's going to be his phone number. So I've got him in here. I've got all his info in, and he's my client. So now I want to save him. So I can just click the save option. And there you go. Now you see that I have my TK and I have my Barry Buyer. If I ever want to get rid of Barry, you'll notice they have trash cans next to their name, so you can always get rid of them. And you can always kind of move them around as well. You notice that you have these little up and down arrows over here, so you can always click on them, click on the names to kind of edit them and move them around as well. But for me, I'm good. I've got them in here. So now I'm going to come back up to the top, click back on member homepage again. And now go back into that orange middle column, but this time we're going to go to the very first button, the client search. I'm going to click on that. So the first thing you'll notice is that it does still hold the information that we put in from the pricing tool. This page here is if you want to search on behalf of your client, but it's also kind of letting you see this is what your client is going to see when they click on your down payment connect link. They're going to come into a page that looks something very similar to this. So it lets you know, hey, down payment is out there. We'll help you find it. Let's see if you're eligible. And then I can start to scroll down, and it says, let's check your eligibility now. Now, right now, this particular page, because we're in here as ourselves, it's holding the 2152 Shin Court address that we put in earlier with that estimated sales price. But if I was to take all that info out, all right, so now I've got it empty, and I've got no programs showing up in the top right. So notice that this page here is saying that you can put in a street address with the zip code and put in your you can put in an address with a zip code, or you can have a general search area, and then you have your estimated sales price. So what's the general search area? Because we didn't see that before. All we saw was street address, zip code, and estimated sales price in the pricing tool. Well, for your clients, when they come in, they can actually search just a general area. Maybe they don't know the exact house that they want to, they're thinking about purchasing, but they can come right here to the general search and just say like, hey, I want to live in Lawrenceville. So they can type in Lawrenceville. And then look, 10 programs pop up just in the city of Lawrenceville. And then if they want to put in an estimated price at that point and say, hey, you know what, maybe $350,000. And now I've got 9 programs out of there. And then the system will actually let them put in more information. Even though they don't know the exact house, they're looking in a general area. As they scroll down, it can be like, well, number of units. It's just going to be single. How many people are going to live in the household? I'll say maybe just 2. Maybe we'll say 3. Husband, wife, and a child. Do you currently own a home? I'll say, you know what? They've never owned a home before. And you can see that the programs keep flashing with every option that they put in. And it hasn't moved yet from our 9. Annual income. Let's say that I'll say both parents work and their annual income is $120,000. And still at my 9, it's going to ask me, am I a co-borrower or a veteran? Are you a co-borrower or American Indian? Certified special circumstances may extend your eligibility. Do you want to check for more opportunities? So yeah, I'll check for more. Do you work in any of these professions? I'll say, you know what, maybe they're in education. And look, because they're in education, the program went up 1. It was at 9, and now it went back up to 10. If I was to click on any of these, it seems like all of them will take you back up to 10. So I'll leave them on education. Do they have a dependent or have a disability? Are they a member of the military? Are they a surviving spouse of a military member? Are you purchasing an energy efficient or, a visitable home. And if none of those things matter, then they can click on get the details. And it lets me know, hey, this property in this area there are properties in this area that's going to be eligible for up to 10 programs and up to $17,500 in down payment help based on what you're looking for. And so now it starts to break down all the different programs that are available for your client. Okay. Now, the good thing about coming to these particular pages when you're doing things on behalf of them, or even if your clients are in there in the system and they're looking up stuff, is down at the bottom, there is a save or email the results. When you guys were looking at the pricing tool, you didn't have that because you're just in there as an agent looking in for yourself. But you notice there's a save and email even at the top. And if I clicked on either one of them, it'll bring me to my page where I can say, hey, I want to save or email these results. So notice it says these results are for an existing client. This is why I made you go and put in a client name first, because when you come in here and you want to send things off, it has to be somebody who's already existing. So I can click inside of my drop down and I see my TK and my Barry. And I can click on Barry and say these are going to be for him. Do I want to save this search? I can save it, or I can just come right down underneath to save this search as and go to the email portion. Who it's coming from? Well, it's coming from me. And who am I sending it to? And maybe I'm sending it to my buyer Barry at gmail.com. And then I can put in a little message. Here are some programs that you should look at. And then I have my email results button, and I can just email these results over to Barry Buyer. And there you go. Now they've been sent out from the system. Barry's going to open up his email. He'll be able to click on the different programs and see what they are. And he can also see if, he's actually eligible to accept any of those programs. So that's the end of like your hard lifting. Everything that you guys do is just pretty much in here. You can find programs and then just email it to your client. And then at that point, they got to do the heavy lifting, putting in all their information so they can see if they're eligible to accept any of these programs. All right, I'm going to come back up here to the top. I'm going to click on my member homepage button again. And then that's going to bring me back out. So we know what the client search is, and we know how to manage our client accounts. I want to show you one other thing. I'm going to go back to the client search option. And we have all of those, different programs that are here. I'm going to click on get the details at the bottom. And then I'm going to click on that save or email results again, because the last thing we did was we emailed the results, right? But let's say that I want to save them in the system. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to call this one, which area was this? This is Lawrence. I'm sitting there trying to figure out, where am I looking at again? So this is my Lawrenceville for Barry. And then I'm going to click on this little save option on the outside of it. And now it lets me know that this search name, Lawrenceville for Barry, has been saved in the system. All right, great. So now I'm going to come back up to the top and I'm going to click on my member homepage. That's going to open up for me. And if you notice down here in that same orange column, the very last one says you can view your saved searches. So if I click on view saved searches, it's going to open up for me. And there are the two searches that I saved in the system. There's my ATL search that we did when we were looking in the program directory. And then here is my Lawrenceville for Barry that I just did from the email or save search option when we were looking at the client section. So if I was to click on this Lawrenceville for Barry, it's going to open up and take me straight to those 10 programs. So I can save it here inside of the system. If I come back up to I can use my back button on my browser to go back one page. If I click on that ATL search, what's that going to show me? Well, no matching programs found here. But remember, this is also being pulled from the program directory, right? So nothing in here for matching programs, but I do have it saved in the system so I can always get back over to it again. If I come back up here to the top and click back on my member homepage, I can always go back to the Manage Client Account section and click on Manage Client Accounts. And if you notice over here, I've got my TK and my Barry Buyer. And if I click on my Barry Buyer, it's going to open up for me. But notice what it does. It not only shows me just his information, but all the way down at the bottom, it'll say saved searches for this client. And remember, we saved the Lawrenceville which I spelled wrong, but you guys get the idea. We saved the Lawrenceville for Barry, connected with Barry Buyer, right? So it's going to save it underneath his account info as well. Every time you save um, a new search in the system and it's connected to the client, whenever you come over to your client account section, just click on their name and it's going to be at the bottom. You'll see all the save searches in there. All righty, I'm going to come back up to the top. I'm going to click back on my member homepage again. All righty. I'm going to come over to my last column here, which is the blue column, which is my DPR blog, DPR reports, and DPR education area. So I'm going to click on the DPR blog, and that's going to open up for you. And so this is just a resource area that it's going to give you for when you guys want to see some information about down payment resource, the way that it's being used around the country, different articles and things that they have, success stories for down payment resource. So I'm going to kind of scroll down the page, and you'll see that we've got all these little areas for you to read articles. 18 home buyer assistance program offerings up to $117,000 are available to help people with disabilities and family caregivers. So this is an article you guys can read. The benefits of home buyer education and counseling. And then you start to have little smaller articles in here, navigating down payment assistance programs, how down payment assistance can transform Black home ownership. Down payment resource donates $10,000 to help an Atlantan buy a home during the holiday season. Little different things that are in here just to kind of keep you abreast of what's going on with the down payment resource program, how it's being utilized across the country. And you can always load up more resources when you get down to the bottom. It'll extend the page out for you. So this is just their blog page where you can come in and find a little bit of extra help. If I come back up to the top, I'm going to close the tab that opened up for this page. And staying over here in this kind of light blue area, the next one is the DPR Reports. I'm going to click on the Reports area. And now I can go through and I can start to see their home ownership program index. And you've got some reports you can click on, view the reports for any of these sections. Urban Institute report, the impact of DPA. If I click on view the full report, it'll open up for me. You got an area where you can download the report. And as you kind of move through, you'll see the different areas of impact that down payment resource has had across the country. So these are great little articles you can always read through. And also kind of lets you know how the market is moving when it comes to down payment resource over the years. How much has it been used? How much is it being used now? And you can make comparisons between the different years. And you'll see a lot of these little kind of charts and graphs that are in here. And it kind of depicts what part of the state that you're looking at and how down payment resource has been used in those particular states. So nice little area for you guys to come into as well. They have an area down at the bottom where you can subscribe to a newsletter if you'd like to get it. And all the way down at the bottom, you have some links in here for home buyers, for professionals, things about Down Payment Resources Company. And then you even have their social media outlets over here on the far right, Facebook, Twitter or X, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. So you can follow them on any of those accounts as well. I'm going to come back up to the top and I'm going to close this one out. And then my last one here is my DPR Education. I'm going to click on that one. So earlier during the intro of this class, we talked about those little boxes that were popping up for the different live webinars. So if you're not able to go to one of those live webinars when they're giving them, all the webinars are recorded. So you can always get into any of them as well. As you kind of scroll down the page, you'll notice that here is the program that was being offered for us. It was Down Payment Program 101, what every agent and loan officer needs to know. And that's going to be Thursday, August 15th at 1 o'clock. And here's a button to register for it. Shows you who the speaker is going to be. They have another one called Those Darn DPAs. That's on September 12th, another Thursday at 1 o'clock. You can register for that. Grow Your First Time Home Buyer Business, Thursday, October 10th. They like to do a lot of Thursdays, I see. And you can register for it from there. Here's the speaker. And if you can't make any of them, look, they're all recorded here. Grow Your First Time Home Buyer Business. Here's a YouTube video for that one. Down Payment Program 101, what every agent needs to know. Those darn DPAs, they're all recorded on this page, so you can always go into them. You just won't be in a live class to ask questions, but you can go in and review all the information that's coming from the system. All righty, great. We got that in there. Let's come back up to the top and we'll close that out. So those are your main points of contact for down payment resource. I do want to show you how you can utilize some of these options, whether you're inside of Matrix, if you're inside of just your email. There's different ways, and for your clients also, how they can kind of get in touch with finding the information for down payment resource. So first thing I'm going to do is go into the Matrix system. So I've still got my MLS tab still open at the top left. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click on Matrix. And that's going to open up the Matrix system for me. Once I get here into Matrix, I'm going to come up to the top. I'm going to hover over search and click on residential. And I'm just going to put in just a little bit of criteria. I've got my first multiple on the left. That's good. Residential detached is fine, and active is fine. For my county, I'm going to put it in Gwinnett County. We were using Lawrenceville today, so I'm going to do Lawrenceville for my city. And I'm going to put in a price range. I'll probably do maybe 300-400. And I'll put in some beds and baths. Maybe I'll just do 3 bed and 2 baths. And that's going to drop me down to about 85 matches, which is totally fine. And I'm going to click on my results button. And when I get into my results, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and just scroll all the way over to the far right-hand side. And when I get to the far right-hand side, you'll notice all these little icons are over here. And they all mean something different. The little alarm clock, which is the very first icon, is the history of the home. Every time the house has been listed, it keeps track of the history of that house. Every time that it's going on the market, come off, been back on again, when it's sold, if it's pending, it's all going to be here in the listing history. Right next to it, you have this one here that looks kind of like a file cabinet with paper coming out of it. And that's if you have any documents attached to your listing. This little link here will take you over into those documents. You have the IV, which stands for InstaView Tour. InstaView Tour is really nothing more than just a slideshow of your pictures that are on your listing. If you have 3 pictures or more, FLS system will automatically create a little slideshow for you. So that's what that's about. The VT column, I don't see. Oh, well, we do have one down here. This little icon here looks like a house with an arrow swinging around it. That's your virtual tour. That's the one you paid for. You got your photographer out there, and they've doing a really cool video, maybe some drones or something, or maybe you've paid for one of those Matterport, kind of the dollhouse effect where people can virtually walk through the house with their keyboard. Then that would be your virtual tour. The one with no acronym and has these little blue state buildings is for the realist system. And then you have the DP. DP is down payment resource, and the ST is showing time. So every time you see these little green dollar signs, you know that this house may be eligible for certain down payment assistance programs. I'm just going to go to this very first house and just click on that little green dollar sign, and it's going to take me into down payment assistance program. And this is how your clients may see things as well. They're going to see these areas that let them know, hey, this property that you're looking at is going to be eligible for a certain amount of programs and up to a certain amount of money. So this one here is 9 programs, $20,000. And then they can kind of go through and see all the different programs. And as you're looking at it, coming from Matrix, you're looking at it, you have those save or email results areas. So you can email things over to your client, or you can save them here inside of the system as well. So that's how you can find things directly from the listing itself. Another way is if you are on the listing. If I came back over on the left-hand side and clicked on the MLS number, it's going to open up for me. And directly underneath the primary picture, you'll notice that we have all those same icons down here. And right here is that green dollar sign with the blue check mark, down payment resource. We know that we can click on that and go directly into the same page we were just in. So those are your ways when you guys are here inside of the Matrix system. What about for your clients? Let's say that you have gone into Matrix, you've done some searches for them, you've sent them some listings, and they get their listings inside of the OneHome system. Is there anywhere for them to see down payment resource inside of OneHome? And yes, there is. So this is my fake client, Zoe Luther. So Zoe's in here. She's inside of down payment. She's inside of OneHome. And I want to see if there's any houses that may have down payment assistance, ready for them. So one of the ways that they can do it, if they're clicking on the properties themselves, usually over here on this right-hand side, there'll be an option for down payment assistance. I'm going to see if I can find a house that actually has some down payment assistance for them. There we go. So here I've got this house right here. And if you notice over here on the right-hand side, I've got the pricing. I'll try to zoom in some. And then underneath Request a Tour, there's an area that says Down Payment Assistance. And it lets them know, hey, this property may qualify for 11 programs and up to $17,250 in down payment assistance. This particular house here is, I believe this is my Cobb County house. Yeah, this is Ackworth. And so they can click on the little link underneath that says see the programs. It's going to open up and look where it takes the client. Directly to the same page that we were in before, right? Down payment money is available for this particular address, this 3934 Abernathy Farm Way. And now they can go through and check their eligibility to see, am I eligible to accept the programs? And it's showing that there's 12 programs that are available in that area. But of course, it all depends on the information that they're putting into here, right? So they'll go through the same thing that we went through, and then they're able to see the different programs that are available, and they can see, if they can accept those programs or not. All righty, I'm going to close up my OneHome. I just wanted you to see where your clients will be able to see it at. When they're looking at those listings, they will be able to see it on the listing itself, okay? All righty, I'm going to come back up here to the top. I'm just going to close out I'll sign out of my OneHome for my client, and I'll close that up there. And I'm going to go back inside of Matrix. All righty. So you saw what down payment assistance is for you when you're just searching inside of, the Matrix system. You know how the actual system itself will work. Let's play around with some of those tools that we talked about earlier. I'm going to go back over to my member homepage, because remember I said that you can take the link from the Down Payment Connect, and you can even use some of those the graphics library with the flyers and those different flyer links are at, the ones that just say, hey, see if your house is available for down payment assistance, how we can add those into like our email signature. So I'm going to come right into this section here. I'm going to go to my marketing resources area, and that's the second green button at the top. I'm just going to click on marketing resources, and then I'm going to scroll down to the graphics library where we have those little green icons that we can put into wherever we want to have it at, our website, our signature, wherever we want to put them. So I'm going to use this one right here. It's the third one at the top that just says down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. If I just left click on it, it's going to pop open inside of the page for me, and then I can just do a save image as, or just copy the image, which I'm going to try to copy it. And while that's there, I'm going to go back up to the top and go back into Matrix, and I want to add this into my signature that's coming in from Matrix. So I'm going to go up to the top right of Matrix, and then I'm going to click on hello my name, and I'm going to go to the settings area, hello my name and settings. Once I click on settings, it's going to bring me into my area where I can go and set up my signature. Over on the left-hand side, there's a column here that says My Information, Hot Sheets, and Portal Notification. I'm going to go to the very first one that says My Information. And then that's going to open up for me where I have these tabs at the top of the screen: Information, Header and Footer, CMA Cover Sheet, and Email Signature. So I'm going to click on that one that says Email Signature. And now it brings me into my email signature that I already have inside the system. So great. The number one thing I can do is I can just click inside of the email signature box. I'm going to put my cursor like maybe right underneath where my picture is at. And then I can just like Control V, and I can put that down payment money is available image inside of my signature box. Now, the one thing about this is it's too big, right? It's way too big. So if I just click on it, or I can do if I do a left click on it, it'll open up a little box for me where I can click on image properties, and it opens up inside of a field right next to it. And this allows me to like lessen the size of it. So you'll notice that there's a width and a height box. If I go into that box, and maybe I'll just put in the number 100, you'll see that it's making it pretty small with a height of 12. But if I change that width to maybe like 300, it gets a little bit bigger. And maybe that's a good enough size for me at 300, and I can just click on my OK, and you see that it resizes it inside of my box for me. I can always kind of put it exactly where I need to have it at, and I've got it there, and I'm comfortable with it. It looks fine. I'm good. So the next thing I want to do is I want to maybe put a link underneath here for my Down Payment Connect. So every time this goes out, people will look at my signature. They'll see my email signature. They'll also see down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. And maybe I want a link right underneath it that says like, click here to get down payment help. So how can I do that? Well, I'm going to come back up to the top. I'm going to go back into my my marketing resource area. And I'm going to come, well, actually, you know what? I can close that marketing resource area. I'm going to come back up to my member homepage. And when I get back to my member homepage, remember we have our link that's right here, showing right at the top of our member homepage. I can just copy that entire link. Just going to left click on it and then copy link to highlight. And then I'm going to go back over into Matrix again. And once I get here, if you guys notice right at the top of my email signature box, you have all these little tools up here that you pretty much see inside of Microsoft Word. You've got the first section, the second little section right here at the top, and then the third section. So if you're looking at that little second section at the top of the second column, I guess you could say, it's a two little buttons, and one of them looks like a little chain link. And that's so that you can link a website into it and make it, say what you want it to say. So I'm going to click on that little link. It opens up this box right here. At the bottom, it says to put the URL. So I'm just going to Control V and put in my URL. And then at the top of the box, it says display text. So instead of the URL looking like how we've copied it, we can make it say something different. And then that'll be the link people will use to get to our down payment assistance. So I can put maybe click here for down payment help and hit my OK. And now if you notice, there's a link right here that says click here for down payment help. I've got it in the wrong area because that's my fault. I should have took it out and moved it somewhere else, but let's see if I can just delete that out and then come underneath my, there we go. I want it to be right there, and I can kind of center it where I need it to be. And now that's what my signature is going to look like. It's got my picture, my name, information. I have the little icon from the graphic library, and then the actual link from our Down Payment Connect that we copied. We just changed the way that it's going to be viewed, and it's going to be viewed as this little blue link right here that says click here for down payment help. Now I can click on it, and it's good to go. Is it possible to add a hyperlink to the icon image? So not inside of Matrix. It won't let you do that in Matrix. If you can do it out, in outside sources, but in Matrix it won't let you. Alrighty. So there you go. You've got that in, and now I can just click my save button at the bottom. And every time that I send off an email that comes from Matrix, they can just click on my click here for down payment resource. That'll be the bottom of it, of my email signature. And I'm all good to go in here. All right. All right, everybody. So let's just recap what we had today. I'm going to come back over up to my member homepage. So just as a recap, you have all these little colorful buttons. Not a lot on this page, but it is a lot of information that's entailed inside of them. So your Down Payment Connect, we know that's connected to our link. And remember, you have the ability that if you're going to use the link the way it is, that you can customize the end of the URL. You wanted to say something different other than just your name, then you can go in and you can customize that. The marketing resource is all of your marketing information. That's where all of your graphic library is going to be, your Facebook ads, your Twitter ads, your LinkedIn ads. If you want to make a flyer, you can do it from there. If you want to join DPR's Facebook group, they're all in there. And even any of the YouTube videos that they have recorded for marketing purposes, they're also in there. And remember, they also do those yard sign writers, and there's a download form in there if you wanted to purchase that directly through them. So that's what your marketing resource is all about. DPR on your IDX website. If you have an IDX site being pulled into your own personal website and you want the DPR logo to kind of show, then there are setup instructions in here. You can always have your IT people or your vendor to kind of help you out with that, but we do have the instructions in there. Your pricing tool is for you as an agent. You want to come in and just kind of see what's the pricing like for a particular home and see what programs are available in that particular area as well as that price range. This is your pricing tool. You can search your programs by name, find all the programs that you want. You can save those searches of your programs as well, and you can attach them to your clients. You have the client search where you can just search your clients. And remember, if you have a client already in there and they have some searches that you've saved underneath their name, it will show at the bottom of their information. Your managed client accounts is if you want to go in and delete any of your clients. Remember when we went in there, they all have a trash can right next to their name, so you can always get rid of them. And then your view saved searches, any searches you saved in the system, you can go back and just manage all of those searches. And then everything over here in the blue section, this is strictly just education purposes. Your DPR blog, the reports, and the education center where you can go in and sign up for any of those webinars that are based on just how the DPR system will function for you as a whole, as well as how you can use it in your business. And if you can't come to any of the live webinars, then you can always look at the recorded videos in here as well. So that's another good thing that they have in here. And then up at the top of the screen, you have the member homepage link, which will always bring you right back out on this page. Right next to it is the new search. If you want to start a new search, you can do it right from up there. Any frequently asked questions that you may want to look into their own knowledge base, and you have that option up here as well, and a help section. And then remember that you can utilize these things inside of your social media. You can put it into your signature of your email, just like we did just now inside of Matrix. You have a lot of options of how you can use the information that comes from here. Your clients will be able to see if there are any homes with down payment assistance programs linked to it, like I showed you inside of OneHome. Once they're looking at a listing, they'll see it over there on the left-hand side for any homes that may have that down payment assistance programs for it. And then they can come in and do their due diligence to see if they're eligible to accept those different programs. All righty. And then that's it. And you guys obviously know that when you're in Matrix, you can always get the down payment resource by either going all the way over to the right-hand side on the agent single line and clicking on the little icon, green dollar sign with the blue check mark. Or if you're looking at a listing, same icon will be underneath the primary picture, and that will take you into DPR as well. So a lot of times it's the hardest thing for a person to get into a home. They can handle the monthly, but it's getting all the money together for the down payment. And here you have something that doesn't take you very long. It's a pretty easy system to kind of navigate through and just see, hey, is this house available for down payment assistance? My client's very interested in it. It takes you no time to pull up the information, to email it over to them. You look like a rock star to your clients, and it took you all of like 3 minutes to pull that information up. So very simple system, and I think you guys will enjoy using it further along in your business. All right, everybody. Well, that's all that I have time for and all I have information for you guys for today. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the information that comes from the system, and we'll see you next time in future classes.